So after the GGG Q&A that they posted, let's just bring that up right now, about clarifying the curse stuff a little bit more. I had a visceral reaction myself. So very first line here, are you changing Bane? Yes, Bane will have a curse penalty similar to Hex Touch and Blasphemy. I made a tweet that I now regret that said, I now understand what Reddit feels. I had a very strong emotion when I saw that. I was really, really sad. Without having the exact number here, we don't know what this is actually going to be. With my video that I made earlier today, I was really, really excited. I ran the numbers actually right after I posted the video. Bane, the build as a whole, was looking like it was about to do 40% or so increased damage over the current version of the build, like more damage, a full 40% more damage after the changes from the manifesto. And so I was very, very excited. I was really looking forward to that. Then very first thing, we start the stream today and we saw this Q&A and people were copy pasting this, or putting it in the Twitch chat. And I was like, no way, you guys are trolling me. And so we opened it up and I saw this and I very quickly, let me find it, very quickly made a tweet, just a full emotional gut reaction here. You know, I do regret making. I'm usually pretty good about not doing that. I saw that and then I immediately said, why would you do this? I understand Reddit better. This also comes off the heels of me uninstalling Overwatch last night because I was very frustrated. So like there was that. I emotional roller coaster. I got really, really excited. I was angry at Blizzard. I saw the curse manifesto. I was really excited. And then I saw this Q&A, which the very first line is saying, boom, and we know from the manifesto it is a less curse effect. It is not reduced, it's less. So it's a more multiplier in the wrong direction. I saw this, I made that tweet, and I was really upset. But, we can run the numbers really quickly here to just show you what I was originally looking at, right? So what we're gonna do is we're going to remove malediction right here. And then in the configuration, what we can do is say 200, I'm estimating right here, 215% increased affected curses because we are losing the 66% less multiplier on the bosses. That's also assuming that we get that 15% curse effect back. So 200 plus 15 right there is the rough estimate right now. And then in addition, we want it, that's actually with not all of our curses, you can apply an additional curse right here. This would put us up to 11.6 million DPS. If you remember, we were originally at 9.2 million DPS with malediction, and then kind of running the math here, as roughly as we can, putting the curse effect back on there and you can apply additional curse. This puts us up to 11.6 from 9.2, right? So we were looking at like a pretty hefty damage boost, but we got that less curse effect right there that is confirmed for the nerf to Bane. And, I was pretty upset. I feel bad. Sorry. I had an emotional reaction there, but Path of Exile did respond to me. Their reasoning is Bane has a lot of upside without allowing you to cast multiple curses simultaneously in a way that will almost always outclass self-casting without a penalty. The problem here, and this is the issue, right, is that doesn't matter in this circumstance where Bane is your primary skill or even your secondary clear skill, because part of like your primary skill that you're building around is that convenience. However, the problem is that you can use Bane in like a 4-link with you're not building it to chaos damage or dot at all. And you could use Bane to just like cheaply apply like, multiple curses, get all of that effect. And actually it probably would be too strong, right? So like, assuming that that's the problem, what is the solution? And I don't know what the solution would be, right? Like if the situation is like, hey, I spec'd into Bane entirely, I'm doing chaos dot, it wouldn't need that 20% less curse effect, right? Or whatever the number is going to be, because it doesn't matter about the convenience. You're just self-casting Bane no matter what. That's your primary skill. But if you're like Frostblades or Sunder or something like that, and you just have Bane in a little 4-link in your boots, and you're getting giga strong curses with Bane in your boots with a single button press, and you're doing like 3 different curses, right? That's like a tough situation where like you do have to balance it. That could be too strong. What that situation would be is every single person, everyone, every build, everything would just be 4-linking their Bane in their boots. And that would be every single build. It would be very uninteresting. It would be too strong. And it would just be annoying. Like everyone would hate doing that. And so what they're trying to do is apply a nerf to the curse effect that makes it not a mandatory thing that every single build is going to be doing. And so like I understand where they're coming from and why they did it. It just stings. It stings, you know, that's my baby. And it stings to like to feel that. And that's why I had my emotional reaction. And I apologize for invoking Reddit and Blizzard at you. You guys do not deserve it. So anyway, they did confirm in one of these posts right here. It's in one of the replies. I said, we did the math right here. Let's do it really quickly. So we remember we're at 9.2 million DPS, right? So if we do a less effective curses right here, at 50% less effective curses, we're at 9 million DPS, which is about the same. So if we're at 40, we're at 9.5. So about like 9.3, right? 45% less effective curse is like breaking even against a boss right now. Now, the kind of the crappy thing here is that we will have weaker punishment and temp chains and enfeeble against regular monsters, especially rares and magic monsters, where that may actually be significant. That'll be actually noticeably weaker. However, versus map bosses and pinnacle bosses, you know, any big boss, then it actually won't be noticeable because we're losing that entire 66% less. So GGG did reply to me and they said it is quite less than 50%. We don't know what that means. They can't share the exact numbers until we get the patch notes, but they said quite less than 50%. So my interpretation, I mean, language is really fuzzy. I'm hoping that at least means it's 30%. Hoping, fingers crossed, if it's at least 30% less, that puts us at 10 million DPS. That is still about a 10%, you know, 8 to 10% damage boost. If it's anything less than 30%, that's even better, right? So this will still be a buff. We lose the defensive bonus of Malediction. Temp Chains and Enfeeble will be weaker against non-unique monsters. So it won't be a big deal, but that, you know, that may be something noticeable. If it's at least 30% or 20% or 15%, then we're starting to look at, hey, you know, Bane's getting a nice buff. But if it's 30%, we're looking at like an 8% damage boost. Still okay. We lose a little bit of defense, but Bane is A-okay, no big deal. The sky is not falling. If you like Bane, if you want to play it still, I'm probably still going to league start it regardless, just to, you know, to feel it out, see if there's something we can do. You know, I'm already kicking some things around in my head like, hey, maybe we pull Despair out of Bane and maybe we use an unset ring and we self-cast Despair for more single target. And we actually just have Bane with 2 curses that are a little bit weaker. And that way we actually get even more damage against the bosses. And we don't really have to worry, you're right, an additional button press, but that's kind of the intended reason there. So anyway, confirmed from GGG, quite less, you know, assuming quite less means at least 10 to 20%. Bane will be buffed. It is more damage, not as much as I hoped. I'm a little sad about it. You know, I had my emotional outburst that I do regret, but by and large, everything is A-okay. No need to panic. And, you know, just to fully confirm, remember my video earlier, I've had a couple absolute 0 IQ idiot comments on my video that I posted earlier today saying, like, there's so much incorrect information in this video and all that. And like, actually, especially after running even more numbers, besides being super optimistic about Bane, everything that I know that I said in that previous video is very, very good and accurate. Curse on hit rings, curse on hit gloves, all of that will be very, very good. And if you want to do even more damage, you can self-cast. Don't worry. Don't listen to the doom and gloom. Everything is A-okay. And I'm very excited for 3.20. So anyway, that's what happened today.